Hi, it's Jamie. I'm back in the kitchen and I'm not making a cake this time, sadly. I'm here to show you 4 bottles on the market that are specifically designed for formula feeding parents. Each one of them is designed to hold formula in a separate compartment and make mixing easy on the go or late at night, like keep it on your nightstand. Baby wakes up, mix it up, feed the kid. Some of them do it better than others. I have played with all of these extensively, figuring out how they all work and what I do and do not like about them. So I'm going to run through these right now. We have Bouche Baby. We have Box Baby. We have Mixie, and we have the Baby Moo Milk It. They're all variations on a theme. I'm just going to show you how they all work. So let's get these boxes off the counter. I have my assistant here today. He's pretty good. He's happy about it. Yeah. And speaking of my assistant, I'm trying out a bottle for myself. This lovely Michel Courdieu overaged malt whiskey. It's a product of Ireland. No, it's France, distilled in Scotland, whatever. Yeah, so why not treat yourself? So speaking of, oh yeah, that's nice. Let's get all these out of the way. And we will start with Bouche Baby. Now you will notice right off the bat, she's very bright. She is a bright bottle. So if primary colors are not your thing, I wouldn't. It is basically the nipple, the ring, the bottle body, and then this compartment. So what you're going to do is this compartment is different because it has like a sifter, like a sieve or a sieve, whatever, I mispronounce things, here. So you pop that lid off, and then you take your Teddy Bear brand formula or formula of choice. And I'm doing all of these today with 2 scoops, which is 4 ounces. And I'm not going to tell you how to properly make formula, to be honest. You can do that online. It's called Google. There are sources like the World Health Organization to give you guidelines on how to properly make formula regarding sterile water and whatnot. Luckily, most of us in America don't have to deal with dirty water like other countries do, and we're thankful for that. So what this does is you have this. So like you throw this in your diaper bag and you're like, oh, baby's hungry, I got it. So you unscrew this, let me put this back on. Unscrew that from the red. Then you're gonna take this, okay? Don't forget the water. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're gonna do 4 ounces, right? Yeah. Fill it up to 4. Whoop, I got a little bit more, whatever. And you dump that in, okay? Screw that. Now, screw it. Now what, typically people like this is called the take and shake, okay? Anybody who knows how to make formula properly, you don't shake formula because it gets a lot of bubbles in it, okay? So that's already a problem with what they name this. You want to do a vigorous swirl, and you'll notice, hold on, it's already leaking. All of this was crazy tight, okay? So it's already leaking. So you do a vigorous swirl, just like this, vigorous. You can do pinky out if you want. Vigorous swirl, vigorous swirl. I mean, I'm giving you some vigorous swirling right here. Hold that nipple shut so it doesn't squirt out all over the place. It does a pretty good job. My issue with it, a couple things. A, I don't think it's cute, but B, and that's just me. B, this, the sifter attachment, because it is 2 very different compartments, it always feels like it's aerating the formula mix. And you can feel it, like when it's going in, it's filling the compartment, it's not filling the compartment, and it is putting air into it. So I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of bubbles, like it does a decent job with the vigorous, you know, swirling. But I mean, this is she's a shooter, she's a leaker, so there's that. But that's the Bouche Baby. Definitely not horrible. It's not horrible, it works. Yeah. So, moving on, we'll go to B-Box. B-Box, let me get a paper towel. Because this, you can't really see how wet that is, but that is just the drip from Bouche Baby right there. Because Mama always taught me to start with the clean kitchen. Okay, so what B-Box does, that's super nice, if you don't want to use the formula compartment, it has this other attachment here that just makes it a standard bottle. So that's super nice, because what B-Box is not is small. It is pretty big. That's it. So going in your diaper bag or whatever, it's going to be a pretty big bottle. Now what it does, it has this little like formula pod down here. So what you do, you unscrew it, and I will tell you, again, I've played with all these. There are a couple tricky things about this formula pod. When you're unscrewing it, nothing in here really grips it. So you do feel like you're just kind of unscrewing on itself and nothing's moving. So you have to make sure like you're grabbing it here on the sides or doing whatever. And I'll show you my biggest problem with it right here. Let me get some formula up inside. You have formula, boom, boom. So you have to twist this shut, okay? So if you hold it here on the ground and twist it, it's actually fine, okay? However, these are designed for like parents on the go. So if you're doing this, if you do it like this, it's very easy to hold this, dump the formula, and then put this on. But when you're twisting this, guess what? It starts to open that cap. It starts to push it down. So then all that formula is going to fall right inside your bottle. Okay, and that defeats the purpose of this. So then you have to like take this off and push that back into place or do whatever. So if you can help it, just make sure you're screwing that down on a flat surface, because that is a problem. So you got this. Wah wah. Baby's thirsty and hungry. And speaking of, let's get our 4 ounces. It's American, okay. Four ounces, yay. You've got this. So how this works is you press right here. So you're gonna press up and you like release the Kraken, okay? So let's see, we're gonna do some vigorous swirling, vigorous. The formula doesn't come out. So you have to like vigorous swirl, dump it, vigorous swirl, dump it, vigorous swirl, dump it, just to make sure. And then you look down here and you can kind of see that all the formula is out of the compartment. So you got this, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't leak. It sings. But it doesn't leak like the Bouche Baby, so that's great. And it's actually a pretty comfortable bottle to hold. What I will say is like that, the compartment itself, the twisting and stuff, that is a design flaw. So you have to work around that. But it works fairly well. I don't like that all of the liquid is going up inside it. Oh, you're leaking. Going up inside here and then like going right back out. It's not really doing anything to it. It just bothers me because I'm weird. Yeah, but that's B-Box. One thing I did not mention with Bouche Baby, it's pretty easy to clean because it's just tubes. So you just take everything apart, it's great. Same thing cannot be said for this guy, and I'll show you, hold on. Something else I just thought of. When you're taking this out to clean it, it requires a lot of effort to really push this down. So if you are a lady who has her nails did, or if you're going to have a caregiver use this that has arthritis, or if you have arthritis or your hands aren't that great, it's a lot of effort to really push this down. So this, you might want to reconsider this purchase if you have that problem. Or if you need to do it one-handed, because this is like not, I don't even know if I could do that one-handed. Skills. Yeah, so it's just a lot of pieces to clean. So that's something to consider as well. But this compartment kind of drives me nuts, to be honest, because it just spills. So you're like twisting, oh, there's the formula everywhere. So that's that. Let's look now at Mixie, which is very similar to this guy. And full disclosure, Mixie was the first model like this I knew of. I was more familiar with it, which is why I played with all these many, many times to get used to them. But Mixie, you take the bottle part off. Let me get some more water here. Let me wipe this up. Mixie, you have this little compartment right here. That's it. Has a lid. Pull the lid off. You do 2 scoops. Kind of like 2 scoops of raisins and Raisin Bran. I don't even know if that's how the song goes. Whatever. Pop the lid on it, and then you put it in and screw that ring down. So there, it's about the same size as a standard bottle, which if you compare it to B-Box, because the B-Box formula pod is external and the Mixie is internal, you can already see a difference in size. Okay, ta-da. So this little jackass gets hungry. Rude. You take this off. Let's get 4 ounces. Speaking of ounces, screw this back on. There you go. So you can like do whatever. It's right there. Then if you need to, you just pop that open, just like that. Open, whatever, and vigorously swirl. You do some vigorous swirling. Boom, 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 boom. Do a little dump just to make sure. Vigorous swirl, vigorous swirl. That cap acts as an agitator inside. So it's going to bust up any clumps you have, whatever. There you go. It's like bubble free, super good. And a couple people online, rightfully so, thought like, what if the cap gets in the way? Will it clog the nipple as it goes down? It can't do that. The lid floats, that little cap will float. And as it starts to go down, it will not. I have played and played. It will not seal the nipple up. You're never going to do it with like blockage. So super easy. I'll show you how to take this apart just to clean it real quick. I'm going to dump it. Super easy. Rinse that out, boom, soap it up. While we're talking about soap real quick, they don't know I'm doing this. Dapple is my soap of preference. I use it at my apartment at home all the time. This is the fragrance-free version of Dapple. I personally prefer the lavender. It smells amazing, but it's really good at getting like scum off of bottles and breast pump parts and like all of it. But it also cleans adult dishes better than anything I have ever used, and it's non-toxic. Dapple Baby, get into it. We love it. So you throw some Dapple in there, wash it out, you're good to go. So that is Mixie. Let me get Baby Moo. This is Baby Moo. It's a little different, and I will show you why. As you can tell, it's big. It looks like a big thermos. So you get your formula here. First of all, let's talk about its parts. It comes with a funnel, and then you have a test tube kind of beaker thing, and then you have this. And this won't really show up on video well, but this is a donut kind of container. This is all hollow, okay? So anything you put in, here we go. Anything you put in this hole in the middle will come right out the end of it. Skewers for grilling. So I'll show you where that's a problem momentarily. So when you're filling this up with the formula, you put this funnel on it. You do your 2 scoops of teddy bear. And you have to like shove it down in the funnel, and some will spill over the edge. I have filled this probably 10 times, and I've never had a completely spill-free experience. Some people may not have that problem. Here. Just take the funnel out, and then you just turn this tight, okay? Now, what this does, this is just kind of like a big storage pod, okay? It's got this hook, so you could like hang it on your bag or like your stroller or whatever, but hungry, what do? You have to untwist this. That's abrasive. The easiest way to make sure that just spilt formula everywhere. That's actually the first time that's happened. This is where it gets tricky, because you have to take this out so water doesn't mix with this, and you want to know how much you're getting in here. So let me get a little bit more water. You have to pour exactly here. It's so tricky, because if you are jittery or you've had a lot of the coffee because you're a parent and okay, let's just say I poured a little bit of that out. So I've got about 2 ounces in there now. Watch what happens if I don't pour exactly right. Shit, water everywhere. Like everywhere, because of that hole in the middle. So you do have to be aware of that. I'm going to get another paper towel. Oh, this one stresses me out, I'm not going to lie. And like, I don't think this is a bad product, don't get me wrong. But I'll show you something else. So let me just get the right amount of water in here. It's like if the hole wasn't quite as wide, it would be so much easier. But you have probably 3/4 of an inch to pour. There we go. So then you do this, boom, boom, that goes back in. and then you have this. Or you can pre-pour. You can actually keep it stored just like this because that is completely sealed, like it's not going to mix up or go anywhere inside. So when you need to mix it, you twist it 1 1/4 turn, and then you dump, and you have to shake it. Like, you have to kind of churn it, like Aunt Ella in Oklahoma, you're making butter. Oh, what a beautiful morning. But then the problem is, this has too much surface area, so it gets coated with the formula and you can't see what's going on inside. So like, I've had a problem knowing if it's all mixed, and I open it and it's not. And then the vigor is shaking. But the biggest problem is, like, there's still formula in there that's not mixed. There is no one's nipple on here. This is not a bottle. So if you were making a 4-ounce bottle, you would have to travel with this and with a regular bottle. And the whole idea of these is to like cut it down to 1 piece. So this is a very different item. I think this would be great for other stuff. I don't think this is entirely successful, to be honest. I'm sorry. But I don't get it. I do get why you would get this when there are other things on the market that work better and are smaller and are a 2-in-1, whereas this is basically a thermos. So if you need to take 2 scoops of formula out with you, you're taking this whole thing. Whereas if you're that hard up, you could put 2 scoops of formula in a Ziploc bag, and that takes up a lot less space than this guy. So that is the Baby Moo Mix It. Yeah, so we have the Mix It, we have the Mixie, we have Bouche Baby, and we have the B-Box. I would actually say I would take this one out of the mix altogether. Pun intended. This, hands down, I think is more effective, and it works a little bit better than the rest of them. If this didn't have leak problems and it didn't look like a preschool nightmare, but that's just me, aesthetics are subjective. If this didn't leak so bad and didn't have the aeration problem, I think I would put this over B-Box, but this does work a little bit better and it doesn't leak as bad as this guy. I just don't like how big it is, and then this compartment drives me nuts. Other than that, I think this is a good product. So as long as you can get around this problem, that's fine. Yeah, that's it. The formula bottles: Mixie, Bouche Baby, B-Box, and Baby Moo, and Angry Baby, and my whiskey. Night night.